Welcome back to BravoBricks. Today, I made a list of all the sets on the Bricklink Designer Program Series 7 that I think have the highest chance of making it onto the finals, the final 5 that are chosen. However, there's a few things that each set needs to hit on before it makes the list. Number 1, it's got to be appealing to look at. That's all about beauty, make it look nice. Number 2, I'm talking smart parts usage. No wasted parts on this. And finally, number 3, it's got to be widely marketable. This cannot be something that is super niche, but it also has to be appealing to maybe more than just one particular niche within adult categories. So I want to preface all this by saying that a lot of the sets that are beautiful that I really like did not make the list. This set list is not necessarily ones that I think are the best or are the absolute most well put together. However, on this list, I've compiled just kind of what I think is going to do well. And number 1, that's going to be the Japanese hot springs. Now, the Japanese hot springs, for a couple reasons, I think is going to make it onto one potential finalist. And that's because, number 1, it's beautiful. Okay, that's the biggest hit here. Number 2, it's got like a not so Ninjago, more realistic look to it. And it's also got some realism tied into it. So we've got the hot spring monkeys. And if you've ever watched a YouTube channel like Abroad in Japan, he goes around Japan and he shows off different parts of the country. And this hot springs, this winter village hot springs area has got the monkeys in it. So that's nice to see. And this particular model is very well put together. The only thing I don't really care for is what I think is the AI stickers on the pieces back there. But of course, that may or may not be on the final product. This is a little bit different from Lego Ideas. These sets here have to be much closer to what the final product is going to be. And I think the ninja look to this is also pretty nice because it's not overwhelming. Now, next on our list is going to be the Cherry Liner Express train at 2794 pieces. Now, if you're a train person like me, this is killer, especially because I missed out on the original Santa Fe that released like 15, 20 plus years ago. This train here, overall, fantastic looking. We've got beautiful interiors. All the tops pop off, as you can clearly see. There's a couple cacti, tumbleweeds things off to the side that are not super necessary. I think this is kind of just putting us in a one particular setting, maybe grounding it a little bit. It also offers just a little bit of scale if you don't have the figures next to it. But each individual train car, especially the locomotive, looks really stellar. I like the color scheme as well. I hope that people aren't too turned off by the all gray, the all silver looking train cars, because to me, when I think passenger train, I think of this sort of chrome wrapped passenger car just like that. Next on our list is going to be Ye Ol' Red Barn. And spoiler alert, this one is actually my favorite set that was in the entire wave. And I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, this Ye Ol' Red Barn scratches an itch that I didn't know I had. So this one is popular, to me at least, for a couple reasons. Number 1, it can be put into cities. Okay, so we've got one audience that likes it. It's all about agriculture. It's about farming and all of the agricultural, things that go along with it. It's got animals. It's got a good animal collection. It looks weathered. It's got nice pieces that kind of differentiate it from, say, the Fun Hole Red Barn, which looks brand new out of the box. And that's kind of what it's supposed to look like. But this one is weathered. And even on the inside, it's not all tiled off like you might expect. It's got kind of that old, maybe decrepit or broken up concrete on the bottom that you'll see in a lot of old barns. But there's some play features here as well. So even though the Bricklink Designer Program is kind of geared towards adults, happy to see some play features because as adults, we also like to have a little bit of fun. Now here in the top, this is what's kind of fun. We've got hay bales. We've got the farmer or like a work hand or something like that who is sleeping off some Z's. And look at all the details here. We got a target, we got target practice, we got trophies, cash. I mean, take away this lawnmower here, or take away this tractor, definitely not a lawnmower. Take away the tractor, and you can throw this into an Old West scene. Now, the figures, give or take, I mean, they're fine, right? Figures don't particularly make a whole lot of sense to me for a Ye Ol' Red Barn, unless this is like modern visitors coming to like an antique place or something like that, like a village. You know how they have like those reenactment villages here and there? Maybe that's what this is going for, but I love this set. Next up, we have the Wizard's Mystic Manor coming in at 31.49 pieces. This set is so fun. It's like it fills the medieval feeling that I really want to fill up, but it also has like a fantasy element and a sci-fi twist to it. We get some Lion Knight soldiers. It's like got this time travel feel to it. Something that maybe would have come out of the 90s from the Lego group if they had a little bit more piece access, right? So this is kind of a modern twist on what I would think would come out back in the 90s. Maybe you disagree, I don't know, fight with me in the comments, but I love that this can open up because all the details on the inside just make you appreciate it even more. So you could pop off both sides there, which I do appreciate for play value. It says roof detaches and astronomy room slides out. Nothing too crazy, nothing big. Looks like we got another Wolfpack fella there, so that'll be popular. Something about the medieval stuff that I just love from Bricklink is how quickly they sell out. And then Lego refuses to put out more medieval stuff when clearly there is a demand for it. So they kind of rely on fan designers like this to get the medieval fill in for other people. But I like that you could just take out a few elements and you have a serious fantasy building that's colorful and looks unlike anything we've seen before, but it's also got a nice twist to it. Next on our list, we've got Medieval City Gate, 32.18 pieces. This one I like quite a bit because the gate looks big enough to actually have a cart go through it, unlike some other medieval sets that have come out recently where the scale may be off. I'm looking at you, Medieval Blacksmith. The scale here seems to match both Lion Knights and the medieval town that came out last year. And this one, I believe, would come out in, I think, summer of 2026. So that would be a big enough gap from the village to be released and then for this to kind of fill up the next hole that needs filled. Something I like about this is all of the space that they give you to pose figures in and around the gate. I like the style of the buildings that come with it. I like that each one kind of has a unique feel. I also like the smoke element that they used there on that picture. This one here, I'm having a weird feeling on this because the sense of scale feels just a little bit off. The cart's very, very nice. Again, with the minifigure torsos with Brinkley Designer Program, they can't have unique figures. Unfortunately, they have to draw from the current bank of parts that Lego has to offer. But look at all that space up there. I would have maybe appreciated a little bit more stone pieces or little tiles there and make it a little greebling, but otherwise looks fantastic. Next, Medieval Fishing Village. Are you sensing a trend with what I like or what I think is going to be chosen? Yeah, I think no matter what, there's going to be a medieval set chosen here because they're popular and they sell out. And if you're anything like me, when you're voting for these sets, I voted pretty much love on a lot of the medieval stuff because that's what I like to see. Now with this one, this is a great looking build, and I do follow the guy on Instagram that does it, and he's got fantastic builds. However, the marketing pictures for this set do not do it enough justice. This set is very deep. It goes back in quite a bit. However, all these pictures are kind of at eye level, so you have a very difficult time seeing how big it is, how deep it is. And I think because of that, he's having a difficult time getting the message across as to basically what this set offers. Now, this final picture here, this is what I think should have been more upfront. None of the pictures that came before showed this much depth to the set. This picture here gets me excited. The other pictures, I thought, okay, this is neat, but it doesn't get me all that excited. This picture here, fantastic. Next on our list is the Peaceful Temple Tour. This one works for a couple reasons. Number one, we've got the nice Japanese architecture that is obviously very popular based on what is being posted to Bricklink. But second of all, it's not supposed to be like a historical piece that has figures like the ninja or the samurai or anything like that. No. This is a temple that was ancient that is still standing today. And the figures that are included with it show that off. This is like a tourist destination. It's a building that is still standing from long ago. The tree that comes with it off to the side is very nice. This plate here, this sticker here, is also a nice homage to the painting in real life as well as the set that replicates it. I can't really tell what's inside these cases here. I assume it has something to do with Japanese culture, something maybe like a Himeji castle or something like that. I have no idea. I'm not going to pretend to know. And we have what looks like a nice pottery station but all of the pieces here look very well used and not wasted. So big fan there. I love this shot here with the clear piece used to have the leaf kind of being picked up by the wind. I think that's fantastic. I also love the color scheme here. I think the colors really pop and it makes it stand out from anything that Ninjago's put out either recently or lately, but big fan of this set. I really hope it does well. Next is the Scarlet Bastion 3990. I promise this all not going to be medieval. I chose a lot of medieval sets because I think they're popular. This one, however, I chose because it stands out from the rest. It doesn't look like the usual gray castles that we have been getting. To me, this one looks unique and it looks like something we've not gotten before. I love that they were bold enough to use this nice maroon, this nice dark red mixed with the nougat, dark nougat or light nougat colors. I think that's a really nice combination, and very obviously they've put a lot of care and effort into this, so hats off to the designer because all of these color schemes work really well together, and very obviously this was well thought out. So kudos to the designers. I'm a big fan of this one. Next is the Libertalia Fortress. Now this is one I was kind of on the fence about because there's something about this that just says unfinished. I don't know if it's the fact that it's using 4,000 pieces, the max number of pieces, or maybe it's kind of that all of the play features are hidden inside. Maybe that's it. But when it comes to the look, I love it. Now I live in Florida, and this reminds me a lot of a fortress that lives over in St. Augustine, which is along the East Coast here. And I think it's fantastic looking. It very much looks like Spanish architecture that you would see like in an Assassin's Creed game, Black Flag, obviously replicated from real life, but that's what I know it from personally, either from the city up north here in Florida or from Assassin's Creed Black Flag. This fortress is very nice. Needs a little bit of tweaking here and there. Privateer Frigate Fortuna, again, 4,000 pieces. This one I chose because I think it is beautiful, and it kind of does a fun workaround to the no sales thing. So we can't have sales in the Bricklink designer program. It's just part of the deal. The sailcloth elements are not part of the available pieces to the designer. And I like that they've got this one where the sails are pulled all the way up as if it's docked at the harbor. And I think this is just a stunning set. The pieces, especially along the backside, all the gold accents, I think really look nice. Something else I want to point out about this set is they are not using a 3D rendering machine to show off this set. This is a set that they have designed using the 3D instructions online, available free to everybody. However, they have built the set and they've shown what it looks like in real life. It's a nice wide angle shot there. Very nice. Actually, that might be macro. You know what? I'm not smart enough with cameras. I'm not going to pretend like I know. This set, big fan, 4,000 pieces. That would cost a pretty penny. Next, for the small sets, we've got Lifeguard Tower. Now, Lifeguard Tower has 873 pieces, so we could expect it to cost anywhere between $60 and $80. I think that this is nice enough to where it could go into a city and people would be happy to have it like along the beachfront, but it also kind of looks nice enough to have on its own. Now, if this is kind of like beach culture, very Hollister 2005 vibes, the color scheme is quite nice. I like that light blue. Very pretty. I think it's called Azure Blue, maybe. It's got a big footprint, which I don't think you maybe know based on the first initial pictures, but I love that we've got a little minifigure that's stuck in the sand. I love that we've got the light on here, except that's a little bit deceiving because we can't have light kits with this Bricklink designer program. They've kind of gone in post, they fixed it in post, and they've tried to make it look a little bit better with that. So that's something, again, I appreciate about the Imperial ship back there. However, this still looks quite nice, and it's nice for a small build in particular. I like that little boat, the lifeguard boat. That looks nice. Next is the Pirate Outpost, 942 pieces. Now, to me, this looks like a set that has more than 942 pieces, so very nice parts usage. So that fills that on my agenda for the must-haves on the list. We've got a nice little gold cave. We've got what looks kind of like maybe a younger fella that's climbing up this tower. Maybe it's abandoned. I think that this is a really nice small build, quote unquote small, 972 pieces. That would be roughly $100. Hopefully less if we got our way. But overall, I think that this is a really nice looking set. I love what they've done with the trees, and it includes a shark, so that's always fun. Anytime I get a set with animals, I'm happy. Next is the Gone Fishin'. Now, this one is maybe a strange choice, but stay with me. LEGO loves to go with the parent storyline. So think of the camping adventure that we just got. So with the camping adventure, we had the father-daughter. With this one here, we've got the father-son. The one thing that I want to point out is this is over 1,000 pieces. If this were sitting on a shelf, I don't know that I would be able to say, yeah, that's 1,000 pieces well spent. I think maybe there's too many pieces that are spent on the water side, maybe too many pieces spent elsewhere. I don't really know what the case is, but overall, this is a gorgeous looking set. I just don't know who would be willing to spend $80 to $110 on this. I think it's great though. Next is the rustic cabin. Now this one is on the iffy side, but I'm leaning towards this is good to go because by this point, the A-frame cabin will have been retired over, well, a little under 2 years. And maybe people need to scratch that cabin niche. They want that family bonding type set. And this is going to be the thing that fills up that void. I like that here, over here on the side, that's the right way to do water. Just a hint. Right, just a hint. That Gone Fishin' set before, I think they could maybe take some notes from this one. The less is best rule, I think, really stands out here. Now, the cabin here is unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your persuasion, it is not closed in the back, which to me is perfectly fine because I'm going to stick it on a shelf. I'm really not going to spin it around a whole lot. I don't have any furniture set up to where I want to look at a set in 360 degrees. So if I want to look at the back, I spin it around. This one is a bit more of a complete family story than the Gone Fishin' one. Looks like we have multi-generations. Maybe this is like a grandparent's cabin. Overall, I think it's beautiful. It looks like nice parts usage, 1317. So if that release, we could expect maybe 120 bucks. If we're feeling good, LEGO, if we're feeling nice and fair. The smoke at the top is done very nicely. Overall, big fan of this one. I hope it makes it through. Next is the Alien Research Expedition 1433. This seems like the kind of set that Bricklink needs. And what I mean by that is it's kind of kooky, kind of out there, but also it's kind of grounded. At the same time, we've got the spaceship that kind of grounds it, but we've got these lobster, weird alien animals, which was the thing that made me laugh the most out of all the Bricklink sets that I looked at, which was every single one of them. You're welcome. I love this professor kind of sitting here at the desk, but I do have questions though. How is it he's breathing on this foreign planet without any kind of exosuit? But over here, we've got a guy who needs the exosuit to breathe. What's going on there? The one drawback of this set would be that a lot of pieces are dedicated to the planet and a lot of space is dedicated to the planet, and very few what looks like pieces are dedicated to the spaceship. However, they do give you enough pieces to change and swap out the colors of it so you can kind of match your preference, which looks nice. I love the tree, love the lobster, alien, bird, pterodactyl creatures. I think that is just hilarious. So 2 thumbs up on that one. Next is the Hooded Crow Medieval Tavern. Little over 2,000 pieces, could be like $180 to $220, somewhere in that range. I think this is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It looks nice. It is something that maybe we've not seen quite at this scale. So I can't tell based on the renders whether or not this is more in line with the medieval village or it is more in line with the medieval blacksmith. And I really hope it's leaning towards the medieval village because it's such a better scale than the blacksmith. I think the blacksmith is too big, but that's besides the point. When we're looking here at this set, we've got a nice space inside dedicated to minifigure accommodations. We've got a lovely, I think it's a deer head on the wall, something with bones, could be an elk, something like that. We do keep seeing the same torsos from medieval, especially lines. And I don't blame the designers for that because it's not their fault. They're using what's available. Hey, look, it's more animals. That's awesome. But they are getting a little bit old. And I wish that the designers could provide or design their own torsos. I think that would be a lot better. And it would probably make a lot of sets stand out much better. Next is Wizard's Tower. Now, I'm really excited for this one. I really, really hope that this one goes through. Now, this feels like just the right amount of kooky fantasy grounded medieval that I think a lot of people are going to like. So we have this amazing, fantastic structure that's curving and kind of growing either with the tree, on top of the tree. I really don't know. But it's so fun. and it's got such great fantasy elements, and it's, I think, under 3,000 pieces, so it would probably be close to $300. But price is neither here nor there, because we're just going over what could make it, what I'm predicting to be on the list. We've seen a lot of big sets so far, and this, I think, is one of the better ones. This one and the Ye Olde Red Barn, I think, are some of the best ones that we've seen. I love that we've got this fantasy scene, but we also have this medieval scene, and it all looks so cohesive and it works together. Roof pops off, looks like you can kind of play with it, play with the backside. I love the little dragon build there. I think that's really, really good parts usage with such a few pieces. I also love this natural entrance that we've got off to the side. We've got minifigure accommodations to go up and down and all around. If you watched my last video, you know how big of a fan I am of all of the ways that figures can go from one spot to another, you know, even though it's just plastic, right? But I like that they've created this story or this build that supports that. Oh, $24.93, excuse me. So we could be looking at sub $250, sub $250. That's nice. Next is the Radiant Ruby Rush, another smaller one. I love this set. This reminds me so much of the old Adventurer series with like Johnny Thunder and all them. And oh my gosh, we've got a nice car, we've got a nice plane, and a fantastic Egyptian-ish looking build off to the side. I mean, come on. All of this, 800 pieces. This is so exciting. Please, Lego, please, Bricklink, choose properly this time around. This is so good looking. I mean, we've got, just great stories that could be told here. We've got a lot of playability. The scale looks like it's really nice. I don't really love the landing gear on the plane all that much, but you know, that could be easily changed. Please look past that, Lego, please. But the rest of it, I think, looks so nice. And we've got what looks like a frog creature. This vehicle here reminds me so much of a vehicle that used to be in the Adventurer series. Looks like we have an Indiana Jones-esque figure who's kind of studying things, or, oh no, we've got trouble. See, look, we've got a story built in. We don't even know these characters. Oh, there's Indiana Jones. Yikes. That's the state of the theme, right? Because they're not making any more of those sets as much as I want them to. Good figure lineup, seems decent. However, the builds themselves stand out so much there that they could have included no figures, and I'd probably still put it on the list because it's so exciting. Next is camping in the forest. I think I like camping sets. I think I like nature sets, if you can't tell. This one is nice and small. I think out of all the small sets, this is the one that was closest to that. I think minimum 400 pieces. That kind of filled a lot of the requirements on the list that we have here. So it doesn't look like we have wasted space. The tent pops open. We've got two different beds. I believe, again, we've got the father-daughter situation going on here. We've got nice mushroom. Oh, wait, no, we've got a couple. This isn't father-daughter. This is a couple. Oh, my gosh. They are going to be loving each other. Oh, wait, no, we got separate beds. They are not involved in that premarital dating stuff. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm here all week. I love the squirrel here popping out from the side of the figure. That's hilarious. I love that. Love the sweater. Love the flannel piece. Trees look nice. Tent looks nice. And it's just a really good looking small set. We need those. 574 pieces. You could expect if this was released to be about 50 bucks. I would pay 50 bucks for that. I think that looks quite nice. Very good set. I'll have another, please. The Wright Flyer. 595 pieces. I'm surprised Lego has not put one of these out themselves. With the Da Vinci Flyer out now, you'd think maybe we would do like a history of flight or some sort of historical flight set. And with them being so strict on no military, no planes, no like things that involve warfare, that sort of thing, this is a nice touch. It's so refreshing to see a historical set like this from the Bricklink designer program, especially when they've done such a good job. The upside down brooms to provide more plant life there, chef's kiss. So good looking, and it's so few pieces. I mean, we got the Wright brothers, we got a plane, we've got a beautiful stand, we've got a little nature section to it. This is a slam dunk home run for me, and I'm not even a sports guy. Who knows what sports those are attached to? I have no idea. Next set is the Wetland Sanctuary. I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's not a set for me. However, it seems like the type of set that would do particularly well, especially at this scale. Now, Bricklink Designer Program lately has kind of been very expensive. And so I hope that they kind of dip more back into the average price, going a little bit down further. And this would be a nice way to do it. This is one of the nicer looking builds that we have, and it's on such a small scale that I think this would do very well with the botanical collection crowd out there. Even though it's not focused on a plant, it's got a bird. I mean, really, it's a wetland, so it's a whole environment, but I think this would sell particularly well. Next is the treehouse, and this is one of the last ones on the list. The treehouse. Oh, 757 pieces. It's tall, it's grand. We've got very nice parts usage here. Love the birdhouse attached to it. We've got the treehouse, the Lego Ideas treehouse, which was massive and it sold for 200. And then after the COVID bump, we got it for 250. This would be such a refreshing thing to see. A cheaper treehouse that kids can get their hands on. Well, I mean, if they have their mom's credit card, but this is so nice. We've got a pirate flag, so obviously we've got kids playing in the treehouse. It looks so nice. Oh, look at that. We've got a little bumblebee nest up there, collecting some honeys. Love the stairs leading up there. I mean, we've got kind of a Goonies vibe almost going on with those kids. I mean, this is just fantastic. Nice big tree. The tree house looks really good. I like that they've tiled it off. Usually that, I would think like it's kind of a waste of pieces because I don't mind when studs are out. However, with this, it's so few, and they've done such a great job with the color scheme, and the roof looks great, and the details on the inside look so fun. We've got another globe element. This is just great. I don't know how anybody could see this on the list if they choose it, which I'm predicting they will. I'm predicting that they choose. I don't know how you could look at this and not be happy. I mean, it's just a great overall looking set. If you don't agree with me, hush up. I'm just kidding. Put in the comments. We'll fight on it. That way we get engagement on this video. All right, I've got a mildly realistic lineup of 5 sets. Coming in at number 1 is the Ye Old Barn. This, I can't hide, is my favorite. I love it so much. I think it's so good looking. It just hits right. Next on my list of 5 is going to be the Peaceful Temple Tour. Another big set, I know, but I think it's worth having at least those 2 big sets on there. This looks so good. I would absolutely pick this up. I mean, on its own, looks fantastic. Put it in a city, looks great. Next, we've got the Lifeguard Tower. For all the reasons I said before and then some, this is a good looking set. You can have it within a city. You can have it on a shelf on its own, and it's still going to look really nice, and it does fulfill that small parts usage that we want to fill. Next is the Wizard's Tower. This is kind of the mid-range. I know it's still in the higher range, but mid-range as far as pieces go. This is just, I love this set. I love the smoke, all the different things that people do with smoke. I love the figures. I love it. And the tree looks really fantastic. I love how it's coming out there. And last but not least is the Rabies. Who am I? Radiant Ruby Rush. There we go. For everything I said before, I just absolutely love this set. And I really hope it does well and they end up choosing it. So do these sets fulfill what we need? Number 1, are they appealing to look at? 100%. They all look great. Number 2, are they smart parts usage sets? I think so. How could they not be? And number 3, are they widely marketable? Yes, absolutely. All 5 of these sets here that I've chosen to go onto the Bricklink Designer Program, they all have a widely marketable look to it. And I think that they both be popular and sell well, and they would also be maybe recognized by the public as good, solid choices. What I don't want to happen is have 3 medieval sets or 2 pirate sets. I would like a diversity lineup, and I think the 5 that I chose offer a pretty good selection. If you stayed all the way to the end, drop a comment down below. Let me know what set you would be willing to pick up from my list. If you think that I created the absolute worst list you've ever seen, let me know down in the comments as well, because we got engagement, baby. And engagement means views, and views means money. Now, I'm just kidding. I'm only making like 50 cents per video. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around. I'll see you next set. Bye-bye.